day, and now how it's almost, I don't want to say normal, but to hear about a school shooting, it's like, oh, there's
another one.
More and more of them, yes.
Exactly. It is 9:34. Welcome back to a great day, and welcome, Mr. Brian Duffy. How are you?
Thank you. Good.
Good. What are we here to talk about this morning?
Well, I don't know if anybody caught this on the news, but I believe it was last week. There was a concert for some kindergartners in Perry, Iowa. And the introduction that was given in English and also in Spanish.
Okay.
And there was somebody in the crowd that decided to get up and start screaming English only.
This rings a bell.
Yeah, he ran into the middle of the theater and started yelling and screaming, and
started yelling
and escorted out.
He had to be escorted out, and actually somebody that was filming, obviously their child there, turned his phone on to the person that was doing it. It was really embarrassing. But it got me to thinking. We really don't speak English. We really don't.
Goodly English or just English in general?
Well, we have parts English, but I would make the argument, and so would this gigantic book.
And say it's a big book.
It's a big book. That we speak an American language. This is H.L. Mencken's book on the American language.
But what did he know, really?
Well, I'll tell you, takes a lot of, if you're going to fake it, that's a lot of faking.
That's a lot of faking.
But we borrow so many loan words from so many different languages. When we talk about a melting pot, we might think that we really don't have a complete melting pot here, but when it comes to language, we do. And here's some examples of it in the cartoon.
All right.
Just last week, a kindergarten concert in Perry was interrupted by some guy upset that the introductions to the audience were being made in English and in Spanish. Now, what would happen if we took that literally? Well, for one thing, our vocabulary would be pretty limited. You see, many of the words that make up the American version of the English language come from many other languages. For example, Yankee was a common nickname for Dutch buccaneers who terrorized the Spanish Main in the 1600s. Filibuster is another Dutch term for piracy. Like waffles? Yeah, that's Dutch too. We get the word prairie from the French. And gopher too. We've borrowed hamburger and dumb from the Germans. Tornado, chocolate, and barbecue come from Spanish influences. If it weren't for the Algonquin Indian tribe, the Iowa Caucasus would be called something else. Iowa itself gets its name from the Native American word meaning beautiful land or sleepy people, depending on who you believe. No self-respecting Brit would ever call what language we created English. And maybe neither should we.
Wow.
Okay.
That's true. We have thousands of words that are borrowed words.
Right.
What the English language really is, or American language really is kind of a polyglot of borrowed words, which are called loan words, words we made up, words that were nouns that we've changed over to verbs and vice versa.
Party.
So, yeah, it goes on and on. And for centuries, the English have tried to distance themselves from our language.
So should we call it English still, or should we call it American? You speak American.
I think you should be calling it American, because we have so many influences from so many different countries that bring their languages over here, and those are assimilated into ours in a way where we've picked those up and we've made them sound, fairly English or American. It's some of the compound words. It's like bullfrog, popcorn, sidewalk, peanut, cold snap. You don't find those words in any other language.
That's
and you don't find it in English.
Yeah,
exactly.
So hard to translate.
So there's so that that kind of shows you there. Now here's something for Jason. Where did the word blizzard come from?
It was an Esterville paper.
Oh, he's good.
Oh,
way back when, and so I think some guy just pulled it out of thin air, didn't he, and said it was a blizzard of...
Yeah, generally, yeah. It comes
Really?
from a German word, but the guy's name was Lightnin Ellis that came up with that name.
there you
There
go.
you go. An interesting take on an
Well
article that happened
done.
last week. There you
Brian
go.
Duffy, good job, man.
Thank you.
Thank
As
you.
always, it is 9:40. We'll be right back. You're watching Great Day.